Hello, I'm the creator and welcome to Pyrrha's YouTube channel. I have some updates for my comic and things I forgot to mention in my last video, which was not that great, I'll admit. With the music being a bit loud, you could barely hear anyone speak. Not to mention that I was all over the place when talking about my comic. I'm editing videos all myself, so I'm still learning. And this time I've wrote a script to keep myself in line with what I need to say and not jump from one thing and then jump back to what I was previously saying to confuse you guys. So I'll be trying my best to put these into categories to make things easier to understand. So with that being said, the first category is... not that long actually. I've finished the front and back cover for the comic, finished the story and added a little joke. I added a little joke that I want to have in the future comics for the story. There are still some things that I'm waiting on, which I'll mention further in the video what that is in a bit. But the important thing is that I will get it printed off as soon as I can, and it's just a matter of waiting for my copies to arrive. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm just drawing and writing this story as I go and off the top of my head, based on my life in school, and right now I'm sketching out chapter 4, and I planned to have each chapter originally having 20 pages, but I've added an extra 2 since then, and didn't realise that I didn't include the chapter part as an actual page. You know, how in some mangas you have like artwork and then it says the chapter. Yeah, I forgot to include that. But as for the spare page, the spare page is a surprise for potential fans. I guess we'll have to wait and see, because it's the fact that I'm literally keeping it as a surprise for myself as well. It's interesting and a little funny, because even though I'm the one writing and drawing the story, I'm looking forward to see what happens next. Kinda had a feeling that someone might say that, so I put that in to clear things up and as a prediction. Yes, the comic is based on my own life in school, but I've created these characters who live inside my brain, so I had to think on what they would do in situations that take place outside my head and, well, even inside my head. Have any of you seen the film Inside Out? It's kind of like that film, which it's partly based on too, but I've changed it up a bit where the characters in the story are not emotions, but how I think to different situations and are more like my different personalities. For example, if we look at Gamer Konoichi, she's good with coming up with strategies. With me playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And play chess here and there, does rely on strategizing. Glad you asked. The surprise is that I'm giving the opportunity to people to create a short story that will be featured at the end of my comic as a bonus story. You can either draw it out or write them down. Don't worry, I'm not going to steal your story ideas and claim them as my own. I will be giving credit to those who make their story, even if I draw them out for you. You can work as a team or do it on your own. The choice is yours. I did have a workshop nearby where I lived so people could meet me in person and to get them interested while I was volunteering for the community, which the other volunteers were all for it, but things didn't go as well as I'd hoped. One, only some people were interested, or at least that's what I thought. Only like one person came back out of a handful of people. Two, I ended up quitting my volunteer work due to a lot of drama that's been happening for months over time that I'm not going to get into right now. Three, I mentioned how my comic will be seen in a TV series. Well, yeah, that's not happening anymore due to, again, all the drama from my volunteer work I mentioned that I quit from, and the guy who was doing the TV series was causing the issue. But as I said, I won't get into it right now. All you need to know for now is that it was getting toxic. But aside from that, I'm glad I'm out of there now. But if you are interested to have your story featured in my comic, you can get in contact with me through my social media that I'll have listed somewhere on the screen somewhere. I only have 2 submissions from family and friends. This was only to get it started, but I'm going to wait and see what other stories people come up with. Which reminds me, I need to change the information on the poster I created for this as well. Okay, back to the good parts. I plan to go to my old high school to see if anyone would be interested to create a short story, and I hope that there will be some interested. I went around and asked the teachers if anyone would be interested, and they're all for it and are excited about the idea. So by the time this is finished and uploaded onto YouTube, I might have more than 2 submissions. I don't know, I need to wait and see. If you have any questions about having a short story featured in my comic, or just my comic in general, feel free to ask in the comments. Or even get in touch with me through my social media, as mentioned. And, as Pyrrha's saying goes, you're right now a pod, but soon you'll become a beautiful flower that will blossom into great things. See you all in the next video.